tuned for that. But let's talk about I-10 end-to-end motorcycle registration, man. So what the wife and I have done is we've kind of simplified this thing, man. Now we're trying to make it as user friendly as humanly possible. So now, with that being said, if you reach out, whether you inbox me or text me, or those type of things to get hold to me, or either go through the Iron Elite page, we're gonna shoot you a link, and in this link, it's gonna have everything that you need to know: the who, what, when, where, the rules. It's going to have the registration information. It's going to have the tier packages. Because now on the I-10 to the end ride, we actually have 3 tiers of packages that you might want to sign up for. So we know not every package fits everybody. Some people want to really go, they want to go rock star with this thing. Some people want to, okay, hey, Sarge, I'm cool. I just want to have a couple things, a couple mementos and those things, and I'm good to go. It doesn't matter to me. It matters to whatever you want. We have a 3-tier package system that's going to go ahead and cater to your needs, man. So we got you covered, man. No sweat. First and foremost, the rules, man. Here's the rules. And the link is going to be in the description as well. So the link is in the description section on the Facebook. The link is also in the description section of the YouTube page. So if you forget something, don't worry about it. Just go in, pop that link, man. It's going to give everything that you need to know. But first and foremost, you have to start from 1 or 2 places. That's all you got, 1 or 2 places. Jacksonville, Florida, or Santa Monica Pier. The address for Jacksonville, Florida is 643 Stockton Street, Jacksonville, Florida, 32204. It is at the BP gas station. Sits right there on that corner, man. You can't miss it. You cannot miss it. The start point from Santa Monica Pier is the Lobster Restaurant address. It's 1602 Ocean Avenue, Santa Monica, California, 90401. If you look over from the Lobster House, you got the entrance of the Santa Monica Pier. You can't screw that up. So we have both addresses, so it shouldn't be an issue for your start points. Now, let's talk about it. This is what makes this ride so unique. It doesn't matter where you come from, you have to start at those same 2 places. So, hey man, shout out to Solo King, man. He lives in Minnesota, man. So he had to come from Minneapolis to Jacksonville to start his ride, and to go from Jacksonville to Santa Monica Pier, and then, oh, by the way, Santa Monica Pier back to Minneapolis, man. So he was getting miles on miles on miles, man. So it's a unique thing because this ride only has the uniqueness about this ride is it's on one particular highway. So if you live somewhere else, hey, man, hey, mama says it's going to be days like this, man. So you have to go ahead and start on those particular addresses, man, to get it going. So the shortest of this ride, I believe, is about 5,000 miles, maybe just a little bit more. The longest portion of this ride can be, it could be 7,000 miles, depends on where you're coming from. So those are 2 start and end points. Once you get on the 10, you must use Glimpse or 360. Those are the 2 tracking devices that I'm using right now. Hopefully later on, we'll be able to use some additional ones, but for right now, it's 360 or Glimpse. Now, if you're using Glimpse, a lot of times with the Glimpse, it goes out, depends on the amount of time. Glimpse, I think for the max is 12 hours. Life 360, it stays 24 hours a day. It keeps running. So that's something to think about when you want to use the tracking apps. But 360 or Glimpse are the 2 tracking devices that we use right now. Once you start the I-10, you must stay on the I-10. Okay, the only reason you get off the I-10 is for a couple reasons. If your bike goes down for some reason, I know everybody doesn't rock a Harley. Harleys are typically dang near every 100 miles on a highway, if not more. Depends on what part of the country that you're in. If your bike breaks down, you have a maintenance issue, and you have to come off the 10, you need to let us know about it. You let us, as soon as possible, let us know about it. Wherever you get off the 10 is where you come back to the 10 to start once your bike has been repaired. The challenge, we all, in the social experiment, we give you 7 days. And the reason why we give you 7 days is because we want to factor in weather, mechanical failures, as well as health. Now, with that being said, some riders, they don't need 7 days. And I get it. A lot of riders don't need 7 days. That's a lot of time. But sometimes riders might want to stop in and see family members or friends or club brothers or whatever the thing they have going on. So that gives you the flexibility to do that. So it's just not a straight across and straight back trip. Only thing we ask is let us know ahead of time where you're getting off and for how long you're getting off, so we don't have to worry about tracking you until it's time to get back on. Wherever you get off, get back on in the same place. No issues, no problems. If there's a situation, if there's a situation where there's a detour, where there's a construction issue, whether there's an accident, and the state troopers or whoever have you get off at a certain point, no problem. Just let us know. We'll track that, and when you get back on, we'll keep going because things happen. As a matter of fact, Carl on his ride, he had to get off, I guess, somewhere near El Paso because they had all kind of road construction going on. Not a big deal, man. Some things are outside of your control. So we'll work with it. It's not normally that big of a deal. Normally it's no more than about a mile, maybe 2 miles at the most. So that's not a big deal at all. If you're traveling to Jacksonville, you would need pictures of your group at Santa Monica Pier. So the start of the ride, some people get there the night before. Some people get there, right then and there, and they're ready to rock and roll. Once you get to Santa Monica Pier and you shoot me the picture with you in front of the pier sign, the big banner over above, and I verified off your glimpse or your 360, you're free to go ahead and launch. I count the ride from that point on. So at that point on, you're on the clock to go ahead and do your ride. So it's no big deal. If you're coming from Jacksonville, if you're starting from Jacksonville, I'll need your picture in front of the I-10 East sign with your glimpse and your 360 to verify starting the ride. You would need pictures of both signs. So the start at the I-10 sign in Jacksonville at 643 Stockley Street, boom, picture, ready to go. Shoot that picture to me. Once you make it to Santa Monica Pier, I'm going to need a picture as well. Boom, shoot that picture to me, verified off your glimpse and your 360, you've been verified. You're good to go. And vice versa. Either way, start point, end point, you got to have both of those pictures for your ride to count. Again, we talked about it takes 7 days. It don't normally take 7 days unless you got you parlay it with some type of vacation or visit or those type of things. Typically, our average riders are taking anywhere to 3 to 5 days. 3 to 5 days. And we want to do it that way again because we want you to have time to take your time to be able to teach back your ride and also to enjoy something while you're riding. Okay, also on the ride, some of my riders, they just get the speed racing mentality. They say, okay, Sarge, I got you. Because they're doing other challenges and things like that within the I-10 to the end of the social experiment, which is no big deal at all. There's a lot of IBA stuff that people are doing, have no issues for. Sometimes they're riding for special cause, no issues, no problem with it. But I ask you this, in order for this ride, for us to get the most that we can at this ride, is you've got to be willing to share. That's why we call it the social experiment. You got to be able to be willing to share your ride with us. Pop on doing your ride. I don't ask for several times a day. 2-3 times a day is plenty good enough. And it doesn't have to be a live on Facebook or live on YouTube or something like that. You can just do a 30-second video at the gas station, and you can talk about maybe the weather situation that you're dealing with, maybe your hydration plan, maybe something that's going on with your bike, maybe the way you feel, maybe what you're experiencing, maybe the highway conditions, anything that you think that would be important to share with us on the ride. Do your 30-second video, boom, clip it, post it, and you can keep it pushing. No problem at all. Some go and do a little bit more than that on the lives and those type of things. Most is best, but least works, but little works as well. So no big deal. Also, if you want to do a picture, if you're not good at video, I don't want to do a lot of videos, sorry, because I don't like to be on videos. So you can do a text caption. You can text on your post with a picture what you're thinking and what's going on with it. So there's plenty of ways to get this thing done. Let's see, where is that the sharing is taking place? I see a lot of starts in, but very few sharing journeys. We got to share the journey. Matter of fact, that's what we're speaking about now. We got to share the journey. We need to talk about gas prices. We need to talk about weather. We need to talk about motorcycle issues. We need to talk about how you're feeling. We need to talk about things about your sleep plan. We need to talk about anything that you think could possibly help us when you're going across the highway. Because keep in mind, a lot of times people are coming right behind you and you're dropping jewels that could help somebody else on their ride. Like I said, a couple years ago when we had, I want to say it was good. I had two riders, and their name escaped me right now, but it's going to come. And they were coming across Texas. I think they were just on the other side of pulling right up on Fort Stockton. They got caught up in a microblast storm. And then I had two riders coming behind them in San Antonio, was just getting ready to step off into that area that I affectionately call the Gauntlet. And if they hadn't have seen, oh yeah, it was Cut. It was Cut Breed and Mr. Clean. And you know, they got caught up in a storm, and they get into a hotel. They had water all in the lobby, man. It was bananas. And if it wasn't for, it was my man Big Win from Buffalo Soldiers, and him and the boss from both of them guys from Buffalo Soldiers, El Paso, and they were coming behind him. And thank God, Cut and Mr. Clean thought enough to post a video of what was going on, because really, let's say this, man. Let's be honest. They could have saved their life that night, man, by not. They saved their life, in my opinion, by posting and let them know, because they were just 2 hours behind them, and they were getting ready to step off in that area. And once you get past Bernie, Texas, and that stretch, man, there's nothing out there. And they were moving in the dark of night. So that could have been a real serious situation. So those are times where posting in real time and letting us know what's going on can save lives and also help people to be able to navigate and do things the right way. Let's see. Oh, for sure. Teflon, that's real, bro. Hey, staying tuned to the page, man, is going to keep you, again, in the know of what's going on. And specifically, if you take advantage of all the things that you can do with the social experiment with your I-10 to the end ride, you're going to give some jewels to some people, and you're going to help some people have a really, really good ride. I guarantee you. But if you hold it to yourself, man, it's one of those things, man. If a tree fell in the woods, man, and nobody was there, did it make a sound? Did it truly make a sound? And if it did, what did it matter? Nobody was there to hear it. So just think about that when you're doing your ride, when you're pledging to take part of the social experiment. I'm teaching somebody how to do what I'm doing in real time. And you don't have to be an expert. Everybody ain't going to be K-Solo. Everybody ain't going to be, Reef or Snacks or Piper. Everybody's not going to be those people, man. Some people are going to be your average, everyday motorcycle riders, but they have the heart and the drive to do something special. So, and even with that being said, those people have something to teach and something to share with us, because they could come up something that we don't ever think about. I always tell everybody, every cross-country ride, man, has something different. I learn something different every time I go across. And it could be something so small, or it could be something really big, but I typically learn something each and every time that I go across there.